Alright, here we are at another installment of the YZ125 build. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize for being the worst build vlogger ever, because I just can't make myself go out there and talk about it while I'm working on the thing. But so we've had it since November. I heard it run for the first time a couple weeks ago. And then I realized I was coming riding today, and I was like, yeah, maybe I can get it back together enough for just a check ride. So this isn't going to be a review, because whenever I do a bike build, there's usually just stuff that you find that you got to keep working through. So I putted around the pits, and back brake's terrible. The caliper's not floating, so I'm going to have to probably put a new caliper on. No big deal. So not really any back brake, but the motor seems to be running okay. I messed with the jetting a little bit, and that cleaned it up. And front brake's also very weak, so I've got to figure out some things with that. Honestly, I cheaped out. I just tried to kind of run what was on there, and it's not working great. But I think I'm going to go out and try to do, there's a little track over here. It's a tighter track. They call it Supercross track. It's not really Supercross, but I think I'm going to go out and try to do a few laps. Again, not really having a back brake, but go out and fart around and just get a little footage with it. And you know, like I said, this thing will be the full-on review of the bike, because there's a long way to go, and there's going to be suspension upgrades, motor stuff, whatever. But just kind of a first, kind of a check ride and see what we think.
Oh,
Okay, so wanted to give just a little bit of a wrap up. Again, this isn't the full review, but there were just some kind of cool things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so I was gonna just go right around the pits or something, and I was like, well, you know, we'll probably be okay to go on the track. And then next thing you know, I'm screwing around the jetting, dropped a needle clip, got the idle where I wanted, the air screw, and well, then she's running pretty clean. I'm like, yeah, I should go out on the track. So I went over on their small kind of arena track, and yeah, laid down some laps. Like I said, the back brake was, you know, basically non-existent. So I was dealing with a weak front brake and a lot of downshifting and just trying to manage. But yeah, I couldn't get off that bike. I rode it more than I did my modern bike today. It really just nice, punchy mid-range, and it had more over rev than I expected it to. And forks were not good. I'm gonna need to look at probably some gold valves, and also I was waiting on stiffer springs, and they got lost in the mail. I'd actually found a set of stiffer ones, and they got lost in the mail. Legitimately, I've seen the tracking info. So I'm still on the stock spring rate on the forks as far as I know. I think the shock spring rate is pretty close to right, so that's not too much of a concern. But anyway, yeah, had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed watching the laps. I think there were some surprised faces to see a old guy on a really old bike and really bright colored gear come motoing past. But yeah, the bike's, like I said, I had that bike for 2.5 years when I was young, so jumping back on it, just, yeah, feels like an old friend. Just know what it's going to do, know how it's going to behave. It does, you know, ergonomics are, you know, a little bit more down in it compared to a modern field, but no problems. I'm really looking forward to my next steps, which is going to be figure out that back brake, which thank you to one of my viewers, I can't remember your name right now, for giving me the tip about the modern KX 85 rear brake caliper. So I'm just going to scoop one of those up on eBay. I've got a new rotor on the way, probably put a braided steel line on, and I think between those three things that'll hook the back up all right. And the motor's okay, but I do want to start exploring mods on that. I'd like to have a little more punch, I think. But again, that's things I'm going to mess with over time. So let's. This is kind of my first impression, just first, you know, few motos on the bike. But then we'll come back and do a full-up Retro MX review, and I'll talk a little bit more about the, you know, everything I've done and to get that bike up to speed. So we'll think of this as a Retro MX review where we're actually going to work on the fun part, which is getting a bike dialed in. The garage part, that's, yeah, I'm horrible at that, but the dialing a bike in for the track part, that's fun for me. So we'll make sure to talk about that some more as we go further along. All right, first day was a success. Thanks for watching.